Good morning, everyone. Absolutely pleased to be here. I am Assemblyman Jeff Aubry from New York, and I am chair of the Council of State Government's Justice Center. That center designed to find data-driven consensus solutions to criminal justice issues across the country, working with states in partnership to find those solutions. And we're very proud to be here and delighted to be in this just exquisite facility. First off, I'd like to thank Congressman Wolf and Mollohan for convening the hearings last year on reentry and recidivism that prompted this summit. We applaud their commitment to reducing crime and the cycle of reincarceration, using the best practices and thinking of the field. Thanks are also due to our partners who supported and helped plan today's summit. The Public Safety Performance Project of the Pew Center on the States, Adam Gelb and his staff, Deborah Left and Seema Gawani from the Public Welfare Foundation, Gary Dennis and Drew Malloy of the Bureau of Justice Assistance. This is, of course, an extraordinary event. Conservative, liberals, Republicans, and Democrats, corrections professionals, court officials, law enforcement executives, treatment and service providers, members of the clergy, victims advocates, we share these goals. To make our communities safer and curb the ever-increasing expenditures on prisons and jails. We have convened this summit because we believe there now exists the data, the bipartisanship, the success stories, and the commitment of the people across the front lines of our criminal justice and service delivery systems to accomplish these goals. We are obviously excited to be here today with congressional leaders, representatives of the administration, and members of this audience representing state and local governments and community-based programs. Today, we anticipate the ideas presented, the data reviewed, and the case studies highlighted will inform the development of a national action plan for Congress and this administration. I'd like to start by introducing our first speaker, Congressman Alan Mollohan, a Democrat from West Virginia. Congressman Mollohan is the chair of the House Appropriations, Commerce, Justice, and Science Subcommittee. He has served in the United States House of Representatives since 1983 and represents the 1st District of West Virginia. The Congressman is one of the key leaders in Congress in providing additional support for reentry programs, innovative programs like drug and mental health courts, and comprehensive criminal justice reform efforts. Congressman?
Well, thank you, Assemblyman Aubry, and good morning to everyone. This is my first trip down to this area of the new visitor center. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm taken back by it. It's a little hard to find, but it really is beautiful. You all have come here on a very busy day, and the crowds that we're already encountering reflect the importance of the day with the President's State of the Union message coming up. But this is a very important, it's appropriate because this too is extremely important for you individually as you operate in your professions, but also for this country as we manage this problem and the resources that are applied to it. I'm pleased to join you this morning. One of the things that makes chairing an appropriations subcommittee different from other jobs on Capitol Hill is the diversity of the jurisdictions that we enjoy. With my Commerce, Justice, Science subcommittee, for example, we might spend Monday looking at NASA's plans to replace the space shuttle, Tuesday on problems the Census Bureau is having with its handheld counting device, and Wednesday we might be on special challenges facing the Bureau of Prisons. It keeps life interesting, that's for sure, and it keeps life challenging. Last year, however, we decided to do something a little differently. Last year, we set aside 3 or 4 days to focus in depth on one issue, the problem of recidivism and prisoner reentry. Recidivism has always been a tough nut to crack, but it's probably the most important metric we have for whether our penal system is working. While our subcommittee always gets into the recidivism question in the context of setting the Bureau of Prisons budget, last year we decided to take a deeper and more thematic approach. We held a series of 7 hearings on prisoner reentry and recidivism reduction. Our goal was to collect different perspectives. Our self-imposed limitation was that we would focus only on what works. This was our deliberate rejection of a school of thought often referred to as nothing works. This pessimistically named paradigm gained currency following the American sociologist Robert Martinson's 1974 report concluding that rehabilitative efforts had little impact on reducing recidivism. In the wake of Dr. Martinson's report, federal and state government came to rely on lengthy incarceration at the expense of rehabilitation. Political rhetoric got caught up in the falsely dichotomous question, do prisons exist to punish offenders or to rehabilitate them? We all know the result, ever-increasing numbers of Americans under some form of criminal justice supervision. It's become clear that a largely punitive approach to criminal justice is what doesn't work. In our hearings last year, we heard testimony from all different perspectives, and indeed, there are programs that work. Rehabilitation programs work when they include a complement of services designed to meet the needs of individual offenders, whether it's treatment for drug abuse, vocational training, educational services. Rehabilitation programs work when they begin the very day an offender begins serving a prison sentence and continue after that individual's return to the community. Rehabilitation programs work when they are evidence-based, fully implemented, and supported by all stakeholders. I know that our subcommittee is committed to this concept. My ranking member, distinguished ranking member, former chairman of the subcommittee, Frank Wolf, he embraces this concept. Last year, we included $100 million to fund new prisoner reentry programs that had been authorized by the 2008 Second Chance Act. That's a 4-fold increase over the previous year's budget. We're serious about working on this problem. That's a pretty healthy sign of our commitment to the new what works paradigm. This conference is evidence of your commitment to this approach. I think the value of this conference is that it brings together individuals and organizations with different perspectives on this problem. We need corrections officials looking at this problem. We need local, state, and national public officials looking at this problem. And we need nonprofit and advocacy groups looking at this problem. I'm confident that all of us will come away from this conference with a wider and deeper understanding of our common challenge. I'd like to offer my appreciation to the groups putting this event together, the Council of State Governments Justice Center, the Pew Center on the States, the Public Welfare Foundation, and of course, the Bureau of Justice Assistance. Thank you.
That's a real partnership because he immediately wanted to make sure that Congressman Wolf was speaking next. So you know that that committee works.